My name is Ellie Hoffman, and I am the local food educator at Cornell Cooperative Extension of Essex County. My role is to serve as an educational liaison between farms and schools and connect kids to their local food systems. We do that through agriculture in the classroom lessons, which involve sharing local, fresh, in-season produce with kids, getting them engaged around agriculture, food systems, food use, nutrition, those sorts of things. Oftentimes those lessons are also followed by farm field trips, where kids really get to connect what they learned in the classroom with what they're seeing at the farm.
Ag in the classroom breaks up the day, and the students definitely love it. I also really like the way that it flows well with curriculum. Plants get their energy from the sun and photosynthesis, and tying in those things. The students are always quick to make the connection between the lessons from agriculture in the classroom and their lessons in social studies as well.
Squash, you got it, and specifically winter squash.
Native Americans in Central America gathered wild squash from the forest.
November is all about winter squash, which is exciting because there's so many different types of winter squash to choose from around this time of year. And so the kids are getting to explore what those different types of squash are, making observations about the colors and the shapes and the sizes of those squash.
Wrap it around, and then you take it off, and then we have a ruler, and we measure it against the ruler.
It's a red one. Wait, no, it's a black foot suit.
That's a black foot suit, you got it.
In addition, they also learn a little bit about the history of squash in this region and around the U.S., as well as just the tradition of having squash at this time of year and connecting that with traditions that they have in their family. And then, of course, ending with that delightful taste test of a squash soup.
This lesson was probably my favorite because this is our biggest activity. I really loved the drink we had, little taste tests to see if we liked it, about what we learned.
They take what they learn and it stays with them. So we might be doing a lesson 3 months down the line, and they might say oh, that's just like when, Miss Ellie was here.
All of these squash here in the back of the room, those also came from Lissa's farm. So you're going to get to see where those things were grown.
Here at Wildwork Farm, we grow mixed vegetables, so tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce, kale, broccoli, squash, winter squash, summer squash.
It's so special that the kids get to actually come here to the farm after participating in the agriculture in the classroom lesson, because they get to see everything that they learned about in action here on the farm. And they also get to ask questions of the farmer. They get to see the plants, ask why it's growing a certain way, what's affecting it, how the climate and the landscape and everything going on around the farm throughout the seasons is affecting that produce that they tasted in the classroom and that they learned about at their desks. But here, they're just engaging with it in a much more experiential, hands-on way in the actual place where it was grown. There is a lot of agriculture happening right now in Essex County. For the kids to really learn about that rich history and current production in the place where they live is very important. It also encourages them to explore careers potentially in agriculture, or learn about ways that they can support agriculture adjacent industries and support the community where they live and thrive.
My dad does agriculture, so it's kind of fun to just go home and tell him all this stuff, and then he'll tell me some more stuff about it. Finding some new stuff about agriculture, which is something that I want to continue to do, kind of. I have apple trees myself at home that my grandparents grew when they were little, when they first bought our house. And we make a bunch of different kinds of things that we have in the classroom.
This education really connects kids to their community, to their local food systems, and to all of the other things that they're learning in school. So agriculture in the classroom is easy to implement in your classroom. One way you can do that is by hosting a Cornell Cooperative Extension educator. You can also use agriculture in the classroom lessons in conjunction with other lessons you might be doing. You can take a farm field trip. And for any of the above, you can contact me. I have many resources that I'm happy to share, as well as different projects underway to expand agriculture in the classroom curriculum into new areas in the upcoming school years.